Hi, I'm Richard from Drive Green, and today we're going to be spending a little bit of time with the Peugeot e-208. The e-208 heralds Peugeot's re-entry into the EV market with this really fun little EV. Today I'm going to share some of my thoughts with you and hopefully help you decide whether it might be the right electric car for you. The e-208 was launched at the end of 2019 with a 50 kilowatt-hour battery pack and a very respectable 170 miles of driving range. What I think the e-208 signifies is a shift in the EV marketplace away from producing just the everyman suitable cars to electric cars with a much more specific and niche appeal. It hasn't been a huge seller so far. It didn't quite make it into the top 10 best-selling cars in 2020. However, I have to admit I absolutely love this car and it's definitely one of my favourites. Design-wise, it's a sporty looking little thing. It's compact and low with styling touches all round, like the flared arches and the diamond cut alloys and this mesmerising grille. It really does look sporty, if not even perhaps a tiny bit boy racery in this GT version like the one we have here. I think it's a really nice looking car and its sporty looks definitely suit how this car drives. Space-wise, it's a compact car, with rear seating feeling really quite cramped. However, it does have 3 seats in the rear and the boot is a decent size, so it does still show some practical capabilities. If you like your cars compact and sporty looking, then look no further than the e-208. The sporty look and feel of the car is carried through into the interior, where you definitely feel like you're in a bit of a sports car. You've got this very small, nice little sports steering wheel, you've got nice sports seats, there's carbon fibre style detailing all around the dash. It's generally quite uncluttered in terms of buttons, which is another thing I associate with sports cars. It's a very nice cockpit, and I think like the exterior, it matches how the car feels and performs. It feels very well designed and also well made. There's decent quality materials on display, and it's also been made and designed with attention to detail. I do like how it makes me feel when I get into the e-208. When I get into it, I definitely feel like something exciting is about to happen. It's such a fun little car to drive. In its sports mode, it has plenty of power on offer, and it handles like a go-kart and corners amazingly. The e-208 has something that I think is lacking in a lot of EVs. Obviously, they all have that smooth, effortless driving, and they're all nice and perky. However, the e-208 has got kind of a level of fun and enjoyment about it that is lacking from other cars. This really is such an amazing fun car to drive. It's a car that you're really going to look forward to getting into. It's not just about driving from A to B, it goes beyond function. It's about enjoyment and style. I think it's great. To add to your driving enjoyment, the e-208 has 3 different performance modes. You've got your range extending eco mode, normal mode, and the fun, nice and zippy sports mode. It also has 2 different regen braking settings. You've got the normal D mode, but you also have the B mode, where when you lift your foot off the accelerator, the car slows itself automatically for you. It's not quite a one-pedal driving style, but it is nonetheless effortless, and somehow it really goes with this sporty drive, makes the car feel even more go-kart-like. Spec and trim-wise is where things become a little bit complicated. There's multiple different trim levels, and each trim level has different options with it and different options you can choose to add to it. So please forgive this if this is a slightly oversimplified way of approaching it. The bottom spec is the Active, which lacks some of the sporty feel. You've got standard sort of cloth seats, you've got a normal manual handbrake, and you've got standard sort of manual heating controls as well. The next spec level up is the Allure. That comes with an electronic handbrake. You've got touchscreen heating controls, and it also has auto wipers as well. You also have a variety of added extras you can put on there: faux leather seats, reversing camera, wireless charging pad, and the digital dash display. And then you move up to the GT line that we're driving now, which adds all the sporty detailing. You've got the 17-inch diamond cut alloys, the auto wipers, auto lights, touchscreen heated controls, that electronic handbrake. This one we've got here has got the wireless charging pad. It's also got the 3D digital dash display, which is really rather unique and rather snazzy. It can also come with a string of other extras. You can have a 180-degree reversing camera, a panoramic roof, adaptive cruise control, and even a semi-autonomous parking function. Personally, when you're choosing your e-208 or speccing up, I would recommend that you go for the GT line because the whole styling of the car really matches the car and how it performs and drives. And I think it's worth rewarding a car that's going to look after you so well and give you so much of an enjoyment by making it look the part. Obviously, this is budget dependent, and the lower specs are obviously, as you might imagine, considerably cheaper. The e-208 doesn't come with a sat-nav as standard. It is available as an option, albeit a slightly overpriced one, I would say. I think Peugeot's assumption, like many manufacturers these days, is that you're going to prefer to use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. As a result, they've installed both those interfaces as standard and made overall the media center a little bit simpler. The infotainment center itself is good enough, but it is quite basic. And again, I think this is because it is assumed that most people will be using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That being said, although the infotainment center is quite basic and straightforward, as a result of which it's actually really simple and easy to get along with. And if you spec the sat-nav, because you don't want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the infotainment system will still do everything you want it to do. The e-208 has a very respectable sort of 170 miles-ish of driving range, which it gets from its 50 kilowatt-hour battery. This is of course dependent on driving style and time of year. The e-208 does, however, have a heat pump-based heating system, which is highly efficient, as a result of which your winter range doesn't suffer perhaps as much as it will do in some other EVs. And whilst 170 miles is perfectly attainable from driving this car if you want to, if you choose to drive it in the zippy, sporty, fun style, which I think this car sort of likes, you will find your range disappear a bit quicker than that. However, that's only relevant on those really long drives. On a daily basis, you know, having 170 miles of range really isn't that important, and you can drive this car however you like and enjoy it every day. The e-208 comes with a CCS rapid charging connection, which is fast becoming the standard rapid charge connection, so there's lots of them out there. It's even 100 kilowatt charging compatible, so on the right charge point you can charge almost a full battery in about half an hour's worth of charging time. I think the e-208 is a great little car. It's so much fun to drive, and if the fun of driving holds any value to you, the e-208 is going to be really hard to beat. It's not going to work as your family car, however, that's not what it's trying to be. As well as being a fun little sporty little car, it's also well made and it feels good inside and out, and it has a very respectable driving range. It sits in a place where it's competing with cars like the ID3, the Renault Zoe and the electric Mini, or even the Corsa E, all of which are good cars in their own ways. Where the e-208 stands out from its competitors, I think, is how it makes you feel. You know, it's got such a fun, engaging drive. As the drive is where a lot of the value in this car lies, I strongly recommend you take one for a spin if you can and see for yourself what a fun little car this is. And hopefully that'll help you decide whether it might be the right electric car for you. I hope this video has been useful in helping you learn a little bit more about the personality of the Peugeot e-208. If you'd like to find out more, or if you'd like to arrange a test drive, please do get in touch. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and keep up to date with all our videos.